Hi, this is Vickie from Victoria House Fibers. I was asked to do a video demo on mosaic knitting. And mosaic knitting is a technique of having color work in your knitting without fair isle, meaning two colors in a row, or without intarsia where you've got the little bobbins and you're going back and forth. With mosaic knitting, you're using one color in a row at a time. So basically the only skills you're going to need are, of course, casting on, knit, purl, slip with the yarn in front, slip with the yarn in back, and creating a 2-row stripe because you're going to be using 2 different colors. The best mosaic patterns would utilize high contrast colors. So for the samples here, I have the blue and the green, then I have kind of like an aqua and a coral. And again, I'm going to come back in a different video and explain a little bit more about these. But with mosaic knitting, you're using one color at a time. And so that makes it a whole lot easier. You don't have to deal with tons of floats like you would if you're doing stranded knitting. And so what I'm going to do is right now just explain this chart and then stop the video, and then I'm going to come back and actually demo how to read the chart while you're knitting and where your yarn needs to be. So as you can see, the chart looks very similar to Fair Isle, where in Fair Isle, where all the little black dots would be, that's where you would add your contrast color. But in mosaic knitting, you're going to do 2 rows of one color and 2 rows of another color. So the important part to look at is right here on the edge. Okay, so I can tell that my pattern repeat is 8 stitches. You read from right to left just like you would for stranded knitting, but you're going to see that you have odd numbers up the side. This is going to be very, very important because row 1, as you're knitting across, that's the right side of the row. There is no row 2 because going backwards on the wrong side of the row, all you're going to do is repeat what you've just done. Okay, and then the next row you're going to switch colors, and then you're going to knit the designated stitches for that color. On the return row on the wrong side, you're just going to knit the stitches that you have knit and slip the stitches that you've slipped. Okay, so the tricky part for me was, okay, on this one, I know that this is my blue is my main color, my green is my contrast. So when I came to my first row of color work, I had the blue, and then I'm going to start the green. So I had green, 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 slip, green, 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 green. And on the way back, I knit these in green, slip this one, knit all the way back. And then when I switch colors back to my main color, blue, this is where it got a little tricky. Normally, as you're reading the chart, you're going to be adding your stitches where the dark ones are, but the contrast will be all the dark boxes, and your main color is going to be your empty boxes. So one of the things that I like to do sometimes to help me out is I know that my main color is blue. Okay, so here's blue. So I would just maybe take a color pencil and just lightly go over each one of those for the main color, and I know that my contrast is green. And so I would just kind of like lightly color over those. So I personally don't have any trouble with this row, but this is the row that I have trouble with. So I know that on 3, 7, 11, and 15 for this pattern, I'm going to be using my main color, but it's going to be these white boxes. And so it personally helps me sometimes if I just shade it in. I don't need to worry about that one. Here's another main color row. So if I just go ahead and shade that in, it's going to help me. And when I come back in the second video, I'm going to explain how that is going to be very, very helpful. See, there we go, right there. Okay, so when we come back in the video, I'm going to show you on this swatch how to read it, how to knit it, where to put your yarn, and also I'm going to show you on this swatch. It's exactly the same pattern. The difference is this is in stockinette and this is in garter stitch, and the difference is on the wrong side of the row where you hold your yarn. So I'm going to stop the video and I will come back and demo the